and welcome to the cozymeadowknits podcast, episode 2. My name is Sophie, and I'm coming to you from New Brunswick, Canada, where I live with my husband and 2 kids. I am a knitter, and this is a knitting podcast primarily about knitting. I do like to DIY sometimes. I do sew a tiny bit, and so if ever I do any other crafts, I might share during my podcast. What else did I want to say? Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a nice beverage with you. I hope you are cozy, because I love everything cozy. And thank you for those who are returning viewers. Thank you for those who have subscribed to the channel already. Thank you so much. Welcome. Anything that I'm going to be talking about today will be linked below. Pattern names, yarn shops, whatever, designers. I will have everything linked down below in the show notes. So yeah, I hope everyone is well. I hope the lighting is okay. And as you can see, I'm crazy about Christmas. Yes, I already have my Christmas decorations, but I started last night and I don't have my Christmas tree up yet. That is the last to go up, and it will only be like in a couple of weeks, in a couple of weekends. We're not here next weekend. We have a hockey tournament, so probably the weekend after that. Anyway, so I hope this doesn't offend anyone. I think it's pretty. I love that it's cozy. I go all out in the house. It looks like Christmas just came in and barfed everywhere. Christmas stuff. So I'm happy I'm done. It was a long day, and but now I can sit back tonight and have the mini lights on and have the fireplace going and be cozy, because that's awesome. Okay, so knitting talk, please. Okay, so I have been busy. First of all, actually, I'm going to talk about what I'm wearing before I forget. So, let me take a sip. Okay, sorry about that. I had to cut. My son has a hockey game later on, and he has his friend here, and they were in and out of the house. So if you hear any yelling or doors open, close, I apologize. And now back to the knitting. Okay, so this is the Vermilion Shawl. This is what I'm wearing today. It is called the Vermilion Cliffs Shawl, and it's by Terry Neal. It is on Ravelry. It is a paid-for pattern, but it's totally worth it. It is a beaded shawl. My version is beaded shawl. There's 2 versions to the pattern if you want beads or not. So I saw the shawl, and I think on the pattern page, the shawl is blue, and I like blue, but it's not really my color. So I saw it and I was like, okay, yeah, this is really pretty, but you know. And I was going through the Crazy Sock Lady's Ravelry page, and she made this in a similar color like this. This is kind of like cranberry, Bordeaux, burgundy. Anyway, so I was like, oh my gosh, I love it. Love it. Totally my color. So I wanted to make it. So I bought the pattern, and I am so happy with it. This was a labor of love because there are so many tiny beads in there. The yarn is from Michaels. It is the Loops and Thread Wool-like, so it's kind of like a fingering weight yarn. Very affordable. And I think it was like $4 a skein. And I bought 2 skeins, and I used like 1 and maybe a quarter of the other skein. I could have made it longer if I wanted, but I kept trying it on, and I really liked the length and the bulkiness of it like it was, so I finished it off then. I love it so much. So I will show you what it looks like. That's how I wear it. So many beads. So many beads. I love this edging on one side. I don't know if you can see it very well, but the pattern is very well written and it is not hard at all. If there's anything you don't know, oh, if you can see here, this is not the yarn, this is me. I'll show you because you saw it. It caught on my clip here when I was working at work. Anyways, I need to fix it. I don't want to shave it. I'm scared it's going to break the thread, but anyways, I'm gonna fix it. It's fine. It's fine. You can't really see it when I wear it anyways, but I'm gonna be more careful now when I do. So yeah, so many beads. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so that's my shawl. I mentioned the yarn that I chose to make it in. So yeah, it was like $4 a skein. Super affordable. I got the beads at Michael's as well. This is what's left of the beads. I don't know if my camera. Anyway, so I think I bought 3 of these, and I really only used 2. These are inexpensive beads from Michael's as well. They are pearl check seed beads, 8/0. Anyway, I didn't know anything about beading or jewelry, so very affordable as well. I don't remember how much. I bought this a year ago. I started this project like a year ago, and I finished it in the spring, I think, or the summer. I can't remember. But anyway, I love it so much, so much, so much. So I'm gonna put it back on, even though I'm really hot. Really hot. Okay, so highly recommend it. Oh, how did I put on the beads? I bought a really tiny crochet hook. It's like super tiny. Can't really see, but oh my gosh, what is that? It is a US 13. Does that make sense? 0.9. Does anyone do this? Oh, I need my glasses. So I started to need some reading glasses about like 2 years ago. More of it like a year ago. It's been bad. I'm over the hill now. I'm 41. So starting with the eyesight going, but it doesn't bother me. I just bought some cheap glasses and away I go. So how I would bead my shawl. Take the hook and I would place the bead on the hook. You can see that. So yeah, so I would be knitting and I would grab the stitch with my hook, grab the stitch, and then I would slide the bead off the hook onto the stitch and then put the stitch back on my needles. And I did that. I don't even know how many beads I went through. Like, I have no idea. And I don't want to know. But yeah, it is so worth it. It is a tedious, like on the very last rows, that's when it's like the longest rows. I think it took like half an hour to 45 minutes to bead that row. But then after that is just garter stitch, and then you would get back to a beaded row. So still, as I progressed on this project, you just look at it and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so pretty, like the beads. Anyway, highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. It is a long haul, like it's a long project, but totally worth it in the end. So I'm gonna put that there. Sorry, that's what I'm wearing. Okay, so let's talk about whips. Okay, let's do some whips. What's my first whip? I have a half. No, I was gonna go with finished objects. Okay, whips. My mind's all blurry. I have my first whip is, if I can find it. Oh, here. Sorry about that. Okay. So last week I started the Winding Ways mitts. Yes, this is my second pair, and this is going to be a Christmas gift if I can finish it on time. So Winding Ways mitts, it'll be linked below. This is just the first one. The yarn that I am using is a recent buy, a recent purchase from Legacy Lane Fiber Mill. So I don't know if that's backwards, but sorry if it is. It'll be linked below. I went to a hockey tournament for my son 2 weekends ago, and yeah, so first thing I did, it was out of town. It's like an hour and some minutes away from where we live. So first thing I did was look up if there was any yarn shops around, and there was right smack in the middle of that town. So I went, and yeah, it was really great. So they're called Legacy Lane Fiber Mill. They actually make their yarn. The store that I went to, I think it's only been open for a year. Don't quote me on that, but I think so. I think that's what it was. So anyway, it was really pretty inside, and they had lots of yarn, very nice. So what I chose for these are made in sport weight. So this was sport weight yarn, super soft, love it. So the yarn is merino. It's 90% merino and 10% bamboo, and it's in sport weight, and the color is steel. So it's really nice to work with. So I'm very impressed. And this skein has 275 yards. So I am hoping to be able to make 2 pairs of these fingerless mitts. I hope for Christmas. Yay. So that is my first whip. And my second whip is my Clark sweater. Oh, I love this. This is going really well. There's a lot of ends though, because it is a striped sweater. Sorry, I didn't want to cover my mouth. Okay, so I started, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks ago, but I've been picking it up more lately. So it's so nice. It's just a striped raglan sweater. It is called the Clark Pullover by Jane Richmond. So this is just black and white, but that's what it kind of looks like. So it's a top-down construction. I tried it on last night to make sure that the armholes weren't too tight, and it's fitting. Oh, I love it. So I'm excited about this one. The pattern is super easy to follow, and the yarn that I am using is Estelle Double Knit. And I will show you here. So the color names, the color names, there are no names. There are only numbers. So I'm not gonna say the numbers because I can't really see them. And I would make a funny face to read them. So this is kind of like a charcoal gray. All of the details are in my Ravelry page, so you can check that out. It'll be linked below. So yeah, so it's Estelle Double Knit, very affordable yarn. I got this from my local yarn shop. So this is kind of like a charcoal gray, and this is kind of like a light gray. It's very similar to the colors that were used in the pattern, and I really like them, so I was like, let's go with that. Yeah, so it's just gonna be a sweater that I can wear at work, and I just love all the sweaters. I just love to be warm and cozy. Warm and cozy. Okay, so yeah, Estelle Double Knit, the Clark Pullover. Clark sweater. I didn't do much anyway, so there's no real modification to this yet. But I did go up a needle size to get the stitch count. So I don't really like swatching, but when I do sweaters, I try to. I do. But I kind of cheat. I only do it a little bit. I only like do a couple of rows and make sure that my stitch count is good and hope for the best after that. It looks fine right now and it's fitting really well, so of what I have. So yeah, so it's a top-down construction, and the at the end you're going to actually pick up the stitches and knit the neck, so the neck ribbing. So yeah, my Clark pullover, love it. Okay, so I've been knitting a lot on that, and I really wanted to have my Whitmore sweater completed for this podcast, but I just couldn't do it. I didn't want to stress out on it, and I knew I wouldn't have enough time to block it, and I wanted to wear it. So I will be wearing my Whitmore sweater next time on my next podcast when I record again. So, but this is it. So I'm almost done. The yoke is gorgeous. Oh, it's so gorgeous. And this is not a hard pattern at all. It looks complicated, but it really isn't. Again, like I said on my first podcast, there was one stitch that I wasn't sure, and it was just like a slip, and I just YouTubed it, and it's really easy. So I am doing the bell, well, kind of like the balloon or like a bell sleeve. So this is the first one. I was knitting on this as we were driving to the tournament. And so I had to stop because I wasn't sure where like how long it was supposed to be. So it was getting pretty long. So I stopped on this one and I picked up for the other sleeve, which is this one. And I'm doing the cuff right now. And yeah, so I'm doing the cuff, and I noticed that I was supposed to switch my needles to go down a needle size, and I didn't. And I'm going to finish it with these, see how it fits. Hopefully, I don't think it's going to make a big difference, so I'm hoping it doesn't, and if it's not, I'll do the same on the other sleeve. And the hem, I did the edging, everything. Anyway, almost there. The fabric, it is so soft. The yarn is so yummy. So the yarn is from, oh, I have it right here. The yarn is from Alley Cat Yarns. So I'm going to have leftovers. I ordered too much. Oh well. This is going to find itself in another project. Oh, I love it so much. So this is the Alley Cat Yarns. Delicious. Just delicious. Okay, so this is the Silk Yak Fingering, and it is 60% merino, 20% silk, and 20% yak, and 100% yummy. Like, so delicious. It is so soft. She has gorgeous tonals. Like, the color is so deep. Anyway, I could talk about this all the time. The color is dark teal, and I am holding it double with the Sadness Garn Tin Silk Mohair. And this is a number for the color, so it's all in my Ravelry page. So yeah, so I'm holding it double. Well, I'm holding it with a strand of this mohair. And it is like the softest thing ever. I love it so much. This is impressive. Well, it's not impressive. It's just like, I really like this. This is really nice. And this is going to be like the holy grail of my sweaters. Like, whew. Anyway, I love it so much. Highly recommend. Highly recommend the pattern. It is the Whitmore sweater by Tayloress Designs. Love it. Okay, so that was my sweater. So those are my 3 work in progress right now. I'm going to have some more work in progress because I need to start Christmas knitting. I should be finishing Christmas knitting and not starting. But yeah, okay. So I'm going to move on to finished objects. I did get a few finished objects done. So the first one is a hat. I made a hat. I made a hat and I'm holding it kind of weird because the ends, they're all in there. I didn't weave in my ends yet, but I wanted to show it off. So this is a hat. It's going to be a Christmas gift. The pattern is Gimme All the Cables by, I don't remember. It will be linked below. It is a free pattern. So, and I've made this pattern before. This is not the first time I'm knitting these hats, but it's the first hat that I'm making this season. And oh, the yarn is so squishy and soft. I've never worked with this yarn before, but I definitely will. Again, it is the Estelle Bulky. Again, I don't know if this is probably backwards. So it's Estelle Bulky, and it's kind of like an oatmeal. Again, it's like numbers for the color, but it's kind of like an oatmeal gray, I would say, color. It's really squishy and really nice. And I didn't put a pom-pom on yet because I am not sure if the recipient wants a pom-pom on it. So I will have to figure that one out. But I got the pom-pom last weekend, and anyways, I'm going to use this. I love it so much. Yeah, so pom-pom with it, looks gorgeous. I sewed on a button, and I got that at my yarn shop as well. And the button is from, you get it in a 2-pack, and it's Brick Bubble, and they have a website, brickbubble.ca. It'll be in my show notes. And yeah, I thought it was really cute. I love the Tree of Life. I'm not really sure if, oops, sorry. I'm not even sure if that's what it is, but I really love the Tree of Life, so I thought it was really nice. So that's my first finished object. Now I have a half finished object here. Is that it? I thought I had 3 finished objects. Well, I guess this is a finished object too. Just finished earlier. I have a half finished object, and it is, I shouldn't get I'm gonna get my sock blockers because they are lovely, and that's why I bought sock blockers, to show off my socks. So I'll be right back. Okay, grab the sock blocker. So this is a half finished object. It's just a shorty sock. No pattern. What do I do? I think I knit like 5 or 10, 6, maybe 6 rows of 2x2 rib, and then I think I knit like 6 rows of just stock knit, and then I do a slip stitch heel gusset and just a regular toe. And this is, the yarn is from, I bought it at my yarn shop. It is called, West Yorkshire Spinners. So this is a yarn, and it is the color Candy Cane. So I bought this skein, I think, during the summer, and I really wanted shorty socks. So I really love the self-striping. So I completed one, and I have a whole bunch left. So I will make another shorty sock to have the pair. And then hopefully I would think so. I think I have enough to make like maybe like ankle short socks, maybe a little bit like a shorty sock again, but maybe a little bit taller, and that's it. So I should be able to get 2 pairs. So I'm looking forward to have these to be able to wear around the house. So that's one of my half finished object, and I found my other finished object that I wanted to show in my pile of messy knits. Okay, so this is a little shawlette that I made for my daughter. It is really nice. I made this out of Estelle worsted yarn. Super affordable yarn, really squishy, cozy, soft, very soft. The pattern is Like a Kid Again, and it is by Chic and Regal Knits. So my daughter chose the colors. I told her that I was gonna knit this for her, and she was all excited, so she came to the yarn shop with me and we chose the colors. And yeah, it is a paid for pattern. It is a paid for pattern. The pattern is awesome. It is row by row. Yeah, the instructions are really great. So it goes row by row, it's all detailed, and at the end of each row, she puts the stitch number, like the stitch count that you should have. And I think that's awesome. I really appreciated that, because sometimes when you're doing garter stitch, it's mindless, but then you kind of lose track of where you are. And so I just needed to see which row I was on. And I'm like, okay, I'm supposed to have this number of stitches. Yeah, okay, so I'm on this row. Anyway, I really appreciated that. So the pattern is lovely. It has a Picot edging, which I had never done before, and super easy. And I will be definitely doing this again. I did not block this. I will say I didn't block it, but it was the perfect length for my daughter. She really liked it, like how it fit and everything. So yeah, so that's the Like a Kid Again shawl. What else can I say about this pattern? Oh yeah, so it is a paid for pattern, but 25% of the price of the pattern goes to an animal charity, and I think that's so cool. The designer, she chooses, I don't know if it's by month or whatever, and she chooses a charity, and 25% of her pattern, of the price of the pattern, I don't know why I'm having such a hard time with that, goes to charity. So I thought that was really cool. It's I know last month or a few months before, it was like for a charity where they take like older dogs that they don't have a lot of time left, and they place them in homes, or they just treat them like amazingly for their last days. And I think that is so nice, and I'm not gonna talk more about it because but yeah, I think that is so special, and so a really good cause. So I highly recommend her patterns. Also, there's another shawl that I really want to do. It is called, I think it's called a diamond shawl by her, and it is gorgeous, and that's on my future knits list. Yes, so watch out for that one. So that completes my finished objects, and I will talk a little bit about acquisitions, just because I'm really excited. So I went to the yarn shop last weekend. I think it was last weekend, because there was a sale, and you know, when there's a sale at a yarn shop, you have to go, right? So I needed to go, and I already know what I'm going to make for my next sweater. So after a lot of shopping and going around in the shop, because there's like tons of yarn. I settled on this yarn, these yarn babies. Isn't it nice? Oh. So I am going to be making the Magnolia Bloom sweater. Yes, a lot of people have casted on that sweater, have completed that sweater. Ever since it came out, I loved it, and I don't know why it's taken me so long to decide to make it, but yeah, I decided to make it, and when I saw there was a sale going on, I got these. So this is the Cascade Yarns Eco Plus, huge skein, and there is 478 yards of this, and this is worsted. No, is it? I don't know. I think this is kind of like a little bit bigger than worsted, so maybe Aran. I think it's Aran weight. So it's really soft, and it is 100% Peruvian Highland wool. So I love that. Oh, I love 100% wool stuff. I love superwash. Colors are great and stuff, but like real wool, like 100% is like so warm. And I love warm and cozy. I hate being cold. So I can't wait. This is the color, I don't know, I think it's numbers again, but it's kind of like a gray blue. So I don't know, I don't have anything, I don't have a sweater really this color, so I am excited to cast on. But I will only cast on once I'm finished one of my sweaters. So maybe in a couple weeks I'll cast on, but I will have to be on my game for Christmas knitting, so we'll see. Anyway, I'm excited about this Magnolia Bloom. Yeah, that's about it. I think that's all I had to say about knitting and everything. I just wanted to also say thank you so much again for tuning in and spending some time with me, and thank you so much for those who have liked and subscribed and left so many awesome comments. Like seriously, I love to read all the comments. I love to hear from where you are and what you're working on. And yeah, there was a lot of comments, like really nice and encouraging comments. My first episode is a little bit shaky, a little bit rushed. I was rushed actually at the time, like I was losing light and nobody knew I was going to make a podcast, and I had the house to myself and I was trying to get everything done before everybody got back in the house. So yeah, it's a learning curve. I hope to get better as time goes, and I really enjoy talking about knitting and yarn because no one else around me really gets it that much, except for at my shop, my local yarn shop, but I can't be there every day, so yeah. So anyways, thank you so much for tuning in, joining. Please again comment from where you're watching. I think it's so awesome. I've had people from the United Kingdom. I've had people from Nova Scotia, which is next to us. I had people from the States, Alberta, where else? Maybe Germany? I don't know. It's just so amazing. Like, it's just so amazing how we can all talk and be connected, even though we're not close to each other. So anyway, I will insert some footage of my crazy Christmas decorations. What else? Oh, and I also always want to share a recipe. So what did we make I'm going to share, it's a really super easy recipe, and all of the recipes I share are not my own. They are recipes that I've found over the internet and I've tried and I love. So we just made, me and my daughter, we made some Cheerio treats. So it's basically just regular Cheerios, marshmallows, peanut butter, a little bit of butter, a little bit of vanilla, and some chocolate over top. Anyway, I will share the recipe below. We had it and it was amazing. They went to daycare and we thought we'd make something special for all the friends at the daycare. So yeah, so we made that. It was a hit because nothing came back. It was all eaten up. So, so I will share that recipe. If ever you have any easy recipes, whether it be baking or cooking, please share, because weeknight suppers are my nemesis. I hate cooking on a rush. Yeah, so that is not fun, and anyway, not the funnest part of the day, but whatever. So if you have a good recipe, please share. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. Looking forward to podcast again in a couple weeks. And so be safe, be joyful, be nice, and please stay cozy and have fun knitting. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one. Bye.